everyone. This is the Easy Allies podcast. I'm your moderator, Kyle Bossman, and joining us this week, Bradley Ellis.
Hello.
Ben Moore.
Yo.
And Brandon Jones.
Yeah.
Brad, what is your goal this week?
To once again be a good boy,
Okay.
working on his life lessons.
I'm so glad.
What does it mean to be a good boy?
Good boys don't curse.
Okay.
Ooh.
Need to work on that.
No cursing. Ben Moore, what is your goal this week?
To not think about Animal Crossing.
Oh, good goal. Brandon Jones, your goal this week?
To bring a little James Hetfield into the podcast.
That's my favorite band.
That's so funny.
Why is Brad so excited about this?
Because I want to hear Jones go, yeah.
Okay. My goal is to debut my Saul Goodman impression.
Who?
I promised this from Better
break
Call
him-
Saul.
okay.
Yeah. I promised I would do it on the podcast, and today's the day. Be ready. You are going to hear within the next hour and a half the debut of my Saul impression.
Right now.
Not right now.
This hour and a half.
I was like,
Yeah.
was that it?
No. Yeah. That is my host impression. Let's do corrections. Begin corrections music, please. We're jurors. Easy Allies is jurors for the Game Awards.
Great.
What a funny word.
But not me. Wanted to make it clear that I'm not voting.
Yeah.
Everyone else is. But I wanted to make it clear just so there's not like that muddy thing of like, why can he possibly vote if he's also a consultant? That's my
Shady
official
business,
title
Kyle.
is consultant for the Game Awards.
Greasy.
Consulting those
Yeah.
awards.
No, I'm not consulting the award. Just to be clear, it's very separate. I did not even look at our Word document, our shared document, to see what we're voting on.
So when
what?
Persona 5 doesn't win, you will be directly involved in that.
I
defeat.
consulted that.
Okay.
Just to be very clear, those are all jokes. And also, Ian didn't get married 4 times. That was a joke. That was definitely a joke. That didn't happen.
Ian
Just
getting
so it's very, very clear, that was very much a joke. Ian did not get married 4 times.
Those are
But 3 times.
I think those are my favorite comments when something is a joke and you think everybody knows.
Yeah.
And you get that super sincere comment where they're like, "What?"
Yeah.
That brings me so much joy.
And when it's Shrek and Princess Bride, like it's fun to keep that going, but I didn't want people to be that concerned about Ian's past. We
right,
just
'cause
got
it was 5 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The score of we were talking about how like the Red Eagles won.
Yeah.
We've won the war.
Yeah.
The Purple Platypi can't possibly catch up. But there was a really interesting comment about how, like, statistically, not that crazy. If you flipped a coin 58 times? No, that's not right. If you flipped a coin, don't do the math live, 56 times. I did. 27 to 19, isn't that crazy? You know what I mean? Like, it's not actually that statistically weird. And so, like, we're super high on ourselves and proud for winning, but, like, really, it's not like we're that
Come
good
on,
at
man.
betting.
You got the home field advantage, and
Yeah.
you're here every week.
No,
Yeah,
because
you're
that's what I'm
in the
saying.
zone.
That's what I said. There's no such thing as the home field advantage. Jones won on, like, a Wikipedia entry on how many words are going to be in Wikipedia.
Yeah, he probably wrote it.
No.
I feel like the Purple Platypi are in a lose-lose situation where if we lose, it's like, of course they lost.
Yeah.
Once again, and if we win, it's like, finally. So it's just a bottomless pit of despair.
We're changing the rules for the 3rd year. Yeah, look forward to it.
Okay.
I'm going to try to make this even. I'm going to try to make it right.
Anticipation.
Jeff Kaplan is the lead designer of Overwatch.
Yeah.
We didn't have his job title last week. We're just like the guy who's in the videos, Jeff Kaplan, is
Oh.
like, no, he's lead designer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And really, this is my favorite kind of correction. Fighting game lore. Oro from Street Fighter 3, he actually does have his other arm. A magic spell binds one of his arms, and he normally fights one-handed, but he can dispel its effects and pull out the other arm at any time.
This sounds like a cool discussion. Like, if somebody needed to correct this, I want to know like why this was brought up, or
Because of the rumors. Last week we talked about rumors for Street Fighter 5. You know, like, Oro's coming. I'm like, yeah, Oro's the one with one arm. And in the correction, they're like, nah, he's got a magic spell that binds that arm.
He fights with one arm.
So I think he chooses it. He's like, you know what? All I need is this one.
It's like how people think Orin had like a broken arm. I remember growing up like thinking, why is his arm broken or
Right.
something? Why is it in a sling? It's
Wait.
like he chooses that.
Who are these kids you're talking to?
Friends I grew up with, Steven Losco. There's a name for you.
Steven, well, hold on. Don't do first and last. End correction
Put you on
music.
blast, Steven.
poor Steven.
End correction music, please.
Yeah.
What is my favorite way to start a podcast?
Game announcement.
Do we have a game announcement this week?
We have
do.
the best announcement.
Ben, do us the honors.
What was
Wait, really?
what was announced this week?
Valkyria Chronicles 4.
Oh.
What?
I'm just joking, man. Why would we be excited about Valkyria Chronicles 4?
Why wouldn't you be? Seriously, that's my response to that. Is if you've played through Valkyria Chronicles, it's one of those games. Like I'm playing through Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door right now, and it's a game that I'm playing through. I'm like, how could anybody not like this?
Yeah.
How could you not like this? That's how I feel about Valkyria Chronicles. But it's not just that. Everything from the language that they're using in the description of the game to the video itself, it's like, no man, like listen, we got a little bit of Stray, but this is basically Valkyria Chronicles 2 in so many ways. We're doing exactly what you want. It's set like in the same period.
Yeah.
Like just the tone, the visual language that they're using, it's like, hey, this is for real. This is a super duper Valkyria Chronicles sequel on big boy consoles. Be excited.
So Ben, yeah, basically, the way you phrase that, I want to talk about the timeline of Valkyria Chronicles because I think it's actually very interesting.
It's weird, yeah.
Yeah. So in 2008, we had Valkyria Chronicles, and that was a turn-based strategy game.
Yes.
Looks great. Still today.
Still looks great.
That visual style.
Holds up.
Canvas.
Yep. I guess we would call it a cult classic.
Yeah, it critically did very well.
Yep.
Sales-wise, didn't do so hot.
And so in 2010, Valkyria Chronicles 2 is exclusive to the PSP.
Oof.
Yeah.
Hard pivot.
Didn't have a PSP, couldn't play it.
And so it takes place 3 years later in the story at a little cadet school.
Yeah, the tone, I mean, I have not played that much Valkyria Chronicles 2. I just
Yeah.
kind of dipped my toe in Valkyria Chronicles 2, admittedly, so I might be speaking out of turn here. But just immediately, the tone is so different.
Right.
I think what makes Valkyria Chronicles 1 so special is how well it handles the gravity of war. Like, it actually does a sincere effort at trying to make this serious and not skirting around some stuff. And then you get into Valkyria Chronicles 2, and it's like, oh...
What if they were
anime
high school kids?
time.
Oh, is that what it was like?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, weird tonal change. Yeah, 'cause
Right.
Valkyria 1 is very serious at
It
points.
is, yeah.
It was the easiest nope. It's like, oh, you're PSP exclusive and you're just about high school kids now?
Right.
You don't understand what was good. Then, in 2011, Valkyria Chronicles 3, which, by the way, was never localized.
No.
Yeah, only Japan.
But there is a fan translation,
Oh.
which I really want to play. I went on Play. You have to get the specific version of the game to do the fan translation. It was sold out.
Wow.
And so that
Whoa.
yeah, I was bummed.
Whoa, so you
I'm
tried.
sure, yeah, with a little bit more effort, I'm sure I could get a copy and play it. But people really hold 3 in high regard.
So,
like,
yeah, it
they're
was-
like, hey, you got to play this.
It was hard for me to see just from the brief research I was doing. The story takes place concurrent with the first game, so it looks like the tone shifted back to maybe a more serious scenario.
looks
yeah,
like it,
it's
yeah.
definitely.
Wow, so Ben, so that Valkyria Chronicle game that I'm thinking in my head that was on the Wii? Is that what you said the
No.
first game?
No
PS3.
way. PS3 is the
PS3
first one.
exclusive.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that the game that was reviewed back at Game Trailers,
Well, PS3 exclusive initially.
that was 1.
That
Yes.
was 1.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
I thought that was 3. I thought that was like the last one we got. Okay, crazy.
Oh, no, we had a couple of PSP ones, one of which
The
never
tanks and like the mission you had to like shoot the smoke grenades in to provide cover. And
came. You're
get through
thinking of the
that.
right game, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we had, just this year, Valkyria Revolution,
Yeah.
Whoa.
2017.
What a change.
Came out on PC, PS4, Xbox One, action-oriented. Is
Just a huge. I played a few hours of this.
Yeah.
And don't ever want to play any more at all. Like a completely huge misfire. Just really rough around the edges. A battle system that is not fun. Like, it's not a good action game. You feel like it's maybe trying to get some of that strategy in, but doesn't go enough in either direction, and so it just ends up feeling like nothing, because you think about the original Valkyria Chronicles and how well it brings real-time combat into this turn-based system, and how like it just nails it right out of the gate and does so well. It's like you have this action game that's trying to be different but fails completely. It's kind of a shame, because Revolution did seem like it had a somewhat interesting story,
Yeah.
and did seem like it was trying to be pretty serious. But
But it feels like the franchise should have died there, right? They tried to revive it. You know what? I skipped something important. In 2014 was the PC port, which was actually huge.
Huge,
yeah,
huge,
no, this
huge
is
deal.
actually
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
This is actually really important. I don't
Yeah.
think you can overestimate how important the PC re-release of Valkyria Chronicles was, because that's when you really saw a resurgence. You saw people coming out of the woodwork who were already fans advocating for it, and you had a PC audience that was very receptive to that type of game. And you had big streamers playing through Valkyria Chronicles for the first time, and it really got this recognition in a way from more people that it hadn't for a long time since that original release.
It reminds me of when Dark Souls came out on PC.
Yeah.
A whole new brand new audience was exposed to that game. It just elevated it huge.
And it doesn't make any sense to me how you have this audience that embraces it out the gate, really supports it, gives it a kind of resurgence, and then you come out with 4 and you're like, PC, nah. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't.
I think that, as excited as I am for this announcement, and as much as I think the announcement nails everything you want it to, like, that lack of a PC version is dumb.
Yeah, I think it'll come, though.
Oh, I think it will.
It definitely will.
Yeah, it'll come.
I think it'll come.
That's how they do those things these days.
They're worrying about 3 other platforms, I guess, right now.
Yeah, but I want to talk about this announcement because it's a 2-part trailer.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, Jones, tell me about the 2 parts of this trailer.
Well, I wasn't expecting the second part.
Okay.
Because part 1 is your classic documentary inside the studio trailer.
The old EA thing.
What I found especially weird about that is someone was talking who I did not know. So it was clearly a voiceover actor who was hired to do the trailer, who was saying a lot of we at Valkyria project. I'm like, you're not a we.
You don't think that was the director?
Yeah, you just kind of. No, that was a very sultry voice on that director who did not identify himself. Kind of weird for the director to talk a lot about the game for
Fair
4
enough.
minutes and
Absolutely,
then not say who he was, lower third come up or something. So that was a little weird. Either do one or the other, either kind of have like a disembodied, like, look at these people doing this thing, or be like, hi, I'm this director. I'm not gonna sound as sexy as the other person, but I'm on this team, so that's me. That's me right there.
Yeah.
And these are the other people that you're looking at.
Yeah.
So it's like a little
Disembodied voice.
Right.
Okay.
And then we have some blurred screens. We almost see gameplay. There's one shot of a guy holding a controller and nothing is moving on the screen. It's like so a little bit. There's some parts of that were staged a little bit, and then we get into the game, and then it fades out, and we actually get the actual announcement trailer.
But
following.
what's the message of the documentary part? What are they trying to tell us about this sequel?
That's gonna be great.
It's the real deal, is what they're saying. This is it.
Yeah,
This is what you
It's
wanted.
gonna be emotional. They've done some research. There was one shot. I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I'd put that shot in there. But they're like, yeah, we're gonna announce our brand new video game, and we're just gonna show this shot of a real field. And they like cuts to a field, and I'm like, wow, that's just a shot. That's just like you just took the camera out, into some field somewhere and shot something. Where it's like you had me for a second there. But it's a gorgeous game, really, really interesting, recognizable, and I think attractive art style. And they said we want to take this kind of cartoonish, cel shaded style of ours and up the resolution, up the realism of it.
But I think another key part of that is kind of where Ben started us off with. Is I think the message there was saying this is Valkyria Chronicles 2. Mm-hmm. This is a real game. We want to be proud of this. We want to make the real game that everybody wants.
Even the language that it's using in the trailer,
Yeah.
like kind of puffing up the Valkyria Chronicles name, like the series that like changed the world.
Shook
the world.
Shook
Yeah,
the
shook
world.
the world.
Yeah.
There is one concern I actually have.
Okay.
In Valkyria Chronicles 1, I think something that is so key to you kind of falling in love with it is really and truly how down to earth its 2 central characters are, Wilkin and Alicia. I mean, they are not crazy, super powered, edgy, tragic characters. They're just real people. They're super normal, almost like kind of plain people who are put into a war.
Welcome's dragged into it, yeah.
And the relationship that they develop, it feels like an actual relationship.
Yeah.
It's not no one nozzle is turned like way too high up, and it's so rare that you see that where you have a relationship and you have characters that feel just so incredibly down to earth. And I hope that there's that sense in 4. Like I hope it's a mix of seriousness, and it's like, oh, I actually can relate to this. Like if I was in this situation, I'd be responding like these characters do.
So part 2 of the trailer is gameplay.
Yeah.
Well, not gameplay. No game playing, but in-engine cutscenes. Wish we got to see a second of some.
I thought it was weird that at the end of the first trailer, whatever they're talking about, they show the logo, then they show the game, then they do the logo later. Like, you should have done have the impact of the actual game first.
It's so weird. I think they wanted to kill the suspense. I think they wanted to kill the worry, Brad. I think that's why they start off with like, don't worry. It's legit.
Might as well just
legit.
start the trailer with Valkyria Chronicles 4.
Yeah,
And that's it.
Yeah.
Just start like that.
We get it. We know we made a couple of PSP games. We know this is like the that's kind of the message. I think that's what that was about.
Yeah.
We know the game takes place concurrently with the first game again.
Super cool.
We're not moving the timeline forward again. It's snowy.
Yeah.
We got snowy
Northern
instead
front
of
this time.
grassy fields.
Looked like there was a little, but yeah, primarily snow.
But Ben, and I guess what you feel from those cutscenes and this dramatic trailer with people singing over it and many titles over it as well,
Right.
that you're not feeling the down to earth characters.
I just don't sense it yet. That it could just because this is, hey, we're announcing this game. We want it to be dramatic. We want it to be high tension. We want it to feel impactful. And so maybe that's coming. I don't know.
But by the tone of the first trailer, like where they're talking about it, saying like, "Oh, this is what you wanted."
Right.
I feel like they know what people liked about that first game.
Yeah.
So I hope it carries over. I could see it.
There's that dog though.
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
like-
that's a great joke, but it's also it's a good shot to start on.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
The first shot we see of the actual trailer is a group shot of these soldiers,
Yeah, you kind of had that in the first one. You
Yeah.
had your little group.
and then they smile and then they walk away after the photo is taken.
There's one more thing that I really do want to touch on
Sure.
very briefly. And I think it maybe it doesn't feel quite as noticeable because this has just been happening over and over and over and over again. But it is insane to me. It is absolutely insane that we are getting a Valkyria Chronicles 4 that is being marketed like this, that is being made this way. Like, this was a dream
Yeah.
like a couple of years ago. And if you look at the history of what's happened in the last 2 years, 2017 and 2016, the way, like, we mention Yakuza now and we don't even think about it. We talk like Yakuza is a known quantity.
Yeah.
Like, that was not the case.
Yeah.
Like, people really had to fight for these things. And, like, the fact that Nier Automata is being considered as one of the best games of the year, like, this is crazy. Something happened.
Feel good moment. This game announcement.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It was a
'Cause, like,
feel good moment.
That dream should have died with Valkyria
Yeah.
Revolution.
And it
Right.
wasn't
It
looking
should have died
good.
there. Yeah.
It was
No,
looking
it wasn't
bad.
very good.
Yeah.
And it's something like,
We're like, oh,
here's
no.
everything you wanted. And I remember when I started at Game Trailers in 2013, and this is not a slam to anybody who worked there, but I remember like multiple times I'd be like, hey, I'm interested in this. Hey, that's cool. It's not that you can't do that, but there are other things that are bigger. Like, you need to focus your attention on that. And the way people cover games, thanks to kind of the proliferation of like a lot of big sites shutting down and like spreading out, like you have this YouTube audience that is talking about whatever they want to, like more people are able to voice their opinions on why these games that were getting ignored are suddenly great. And it has actually changed things. We live in a time where I feel like anything is possible. Like, I can't go into too much detail, but like I'm playing through Xenoblade Chronicles 2 right now.
Oh, of course.
Cool.
Okay.
And it is insane to me the way that the game is designed that it exists at all. Like 2 years ago, it would have felt, not 2 years ago, probably a little bit longer than that. Like
This is
4
a mean
years ago.
tease. This is too mean.
No, it's just, it makes me so happy that we don't have to have those conversations of, oh, that's not big enough. Oh,
Yeah.
that's not going to draw the audience. I feel like games that are doing right by their consumers, like you look at Yakuza 0, right? That is a game that you can spend 100 hours in that isn't nickel and diming you, that is just a great game, a great story, super well polished, super well made. Like, these games are getting the attention they deserve, and it's a beautiful thing. And I hope Valkyria Chronicles 4 is like that.
I guess finally, a really interesting thing about Valkyria Chronicles 4 is how finished it looks. Game's slated for 2018.
Right.
We had no idea it exists. Well, I think the Valkyria project was kind of teased at ahead of time, but no gameplay shown until this moment.
But that's what's such a bummer about that first part of the trailer is like they go in, I'm like, it's too bad we don't see the game yet, and like some of that art looks kind of cool, and it's just weird to me that like somebody's like, I'm gonna make this door look the best. This is gonna be the best door ever. I'm really this door's gonna be really neat, and they're like, cool, to show off your work, we're gonna print that out on a 8x11 sheet of paper and just kind of fold it over this book. And then kind of shoot it at an upside down angle. It's like, great, thanks. That my work, thank a lot. I appreciate that. Thanks for just coming by my desk and shooting that.
Yeah. And we thought that would be the end of that trailer.
So I was like,
right?
oh, bummer.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't wait to see actual gameplay. And then
Yeah.
they start. It's like, why was this not peppered at all in the documentary stuff? It seemed like that was made, and then they maybe wanted to release that, but then we're like, no. And then they had the other trailer, and like, well, we'll just kind of see. jam them together. And
Yeah.
release them both that way.
It's funny that you mention how well put together it is, because like you look at the rough development of Revolution and then the final product, and like just characters talking to each other looks awful. Like they animate awfully. Like it's not. It looks like a game that was strained in every single way, and you do not get that vibe from this. Like, how did this happen?
How did this happen? How did they need to explain themselves?
Yeah.
They need to say why this happened.
From the positive sales of the first game.
I think so. I think on Steam, I think it rejuvenated it, and I think
And the
somebody
remaster.
actually listened to what was wrong
Like,
with
why
it.
don't we give people what they want?
Yeah.
They'll buy it.
Why did we make an action game? Why did
Yeah.
we do that?
Okay.
Why did we do that?
You're fired.
I think, Brad, you're completely right. 100%. And I think what this means is everybody needs to go right now and buy a copy of Dragon's Dogma on PS4, Xbox One, or PC so we can get that ball rolling.
I think that would be next,
Ben,
right? That would be next.
believe that team is doing Devil May Cry 5. Just believe that. That's what I want to believe. That's why there's no Dragon's Dogma 2.
Well, Kami is returning for 5, so it'll be
I know,
fine.
but they'll be involved.
Go ahead and download Parappa the Rapper HD. Go ahead.
What about Deep Down? Was that officially dead?
Yeah, that's dead.
It's not officially dead.
I think that's dead.
At the PS4 Pro debut, they had more Deep Downs.
Come on, dude.
Isn't that weird?
Yes.
Isn't that weird?
Yes.
We are deep,
It's super weird.
deep into the life
Isn't
of the
that-
PlayStation 4. Is it
That's the
4 years
second
now?
game they ever showed?
Yeah,
Right.
that was the PS4 debut. They're like, check this out.
Did that. Bye.
Fanta Ray.
Never came out.
Whoa.
man.
Yeah.
Obviously, the number one reason why I love video games is because of the games themselves, but this fascinating, like, hey, what happened to Deep Down? Like, the boldness of that announcement and how sure it felt, and then all of a sudden you have things that come out of nowhere, like Resident Evil 7, here we go.
Yeah.
Like, what? It is a never-ending wild ride that you cannot predict. You
Yeah.
can't predict what's going to happen.
I truly believe there are people at Capcom who are getting paid today to work on Deep Down.
But what are they doing?
What are you doing?
Like a team of 3.
Yeah. Yeah, it might be a team
In
of
the
3.
mailroom.
Yeah. How's Panta Ray going? They're like, it's good. It's good. We got a new dragon.
Yeah.
A new ugly dragon. You ready? Ready? Chuck. So, the NPDs for October 2017 were released this week.
Lay it on me.
I want to play a game with this, actually.
Okay.
So, we had this huge situation. We talked about it on the podcast where Assassin's Creed Origins, Wolfenstein 2, and Mario Odyssey were all releasing on the same day. October 27th.
Crazy day.
And that's toward the end of the month. We have October NPDs. So, I want to ask the panel where you think these games fell, where they dropped in the NPDs, which are, by the way, North America's tracking, of games, of revenue.
Can we order them first?
Sure.
I think I feel cozy I can get that right.
Okay, let's see your ordering.
Mario and then Assassins and then Wolfenstein.
Any other opinions?
I'm going to believe Mario's number 1. You know, I like Jones's picks. I like it, Jones.
Yeah, I was going to say
I'm
the
going
same
with that.
order.
You're all wrong.
Was it AC, Mario, Wolfenstein?
Assassin's Creed Origins.
Damn multi-platform.
Yes. Yep.
Wow.
Get it. Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Well, not everyone can buy a Switch, I guess.
We are
yet.
getting
Yeah,
another
maybe.
one of those.
Yeah.
I wonder,
I mean, because we talked
I wonder
about
what they were waiting on for these sales. I wonder if that's really going to change anything. Is that another Assassin's just already cooking? Has it been?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
I'm sure there's
year and
like
a
4
half, like-
cooking already.
Wow.
and they're gonna have RPG
boy.
elements.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah.
for as much as I said anything was possible, sometimes I have moments where I realize that, like, there is this whole broader audience for video games that we're not even aware of, and they're not aware of us.
Yeah.
We are in a particular sphere.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. But I mean, even when we were trying to rank those, I think we like came back to like Assassin's Creed always sells, and then we learned just a couple of weeks ago that it outsold Syndicate. Was the one before it 100%. That it like doubled the first week sales of Syndicate.
Where does it place in, like, the grand Assassin's Creed rankings?
Ooh, I wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually interesting.
People were hungry after that year wait.
What do we think is number 1 on the NPDs?
Number 1 game.
It's not Assassin's Creed.
FIFA?
Yeah, a sports game like.
It's a good guess. Strong
I don't know
guess.
which ones came out. NBA?
Jones, you got a guess?
Nope.
NBA?
Middle Earth: Shadow of War. Number 1.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Number 1 in October. And remember, it had more weeks out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's cool. So Assassin's Creed number 2, Mario Odyssey number 3. Where is
Wolfenstein?
2.
Number 6.
I like 6 as well. I will go with 6.
Ben, you got a guess?
I'm scared it's 9.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 8.
Number 14.
Oh,
Oh, it is a bummer. That is a bummer.
that sucks. Little less broad audience, though.
How about the Evil Within
That's-
2 that released on October 13th, Friday the 13th?
How did it do?
Yeah, where does that place?
20.
I'm gonna say 10.
Jones?
9.
13.
Oh, it's better than I thought. Yeah.
That's oof. Yeah, not in the top 10. Yeah. So I mean, that's kind of where we're at.
So many good games this
Yeah,
year.
so-
And
Game.
I mean,
do well.
When you give me that lineup, I mean, we're so fortunate, like truly, to be able to be like, yeah, I'm gonna get all of those and then play them when I have time. Like that's not how it works
Yeah.
for most people.
Yeah.
Like
You gotta
it's like,
pick one,
Oh, I'm
maybe.
most familiar with and attached to Assassin's Creed, this series that I've been with for however many years. Like Wolfenstein seems cool, but I'm not as sure on it, so I can only buy one. Like okay, that makes sense.
South Park was number 4, which I think is kind of interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
That game's good.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I'm not laughing, but yeah, it was fun. I'm kind of like done with it, Ben.
You're done
That's
with it?
okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
How far? I've played
Play
like
Wolfenstein now.
5 hours, 6 hours.
I
How
think
far
I
did
did.
you
I think I did my 10. I think I put in
Okay.
my 10 hours,
All right.
and it's like, yeah, okay,
Yeah, you
it
gotta
was
give
fun.
that a fair shake.
Yeah, I give it a fair shake. NBA was number 5. FIFA's number
thought it was
6. WWE number 7.
Oh.
Madden number 8. That was the sports block. Destiny 2 dropping number 9.
Oh yeah.
It was number 1 the week prior.
I've heard nothing but vitriol for WWE, and as someone who's clueless
Really?
about the sport and
haven't played
the
it.
game, but that's okay.
Haven't played it.
Buggy and just bad systems that seem to be designed around microtransactions that they never implemented into the game. So it's just like there's currencies, but like you can't
Man.
actually buy them. So the currencies are there for no reason. You got to earn the currencies to
That
unlock the
sucks,
boxes.
dude.
Yeah.
2K.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Gran Turismo Sport number 11, but yeah, that was kind of cool.
Oh wow.
Good
Really?
MPDs. Yeah.
I forgot that even came out a lot.
Yeah. I don't know if Gran Turismo Sport's gonna do bonkers like Gran Turismo's used to doing.
I don't know. It doesn't seem like they're treating it as big of a deal now.
Yeah.
As it used to. Gran Turismo used to feel like a huge deal.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
It's not just you.
Okay.
That's a valid opinion.
Like I just
Brad.
remember I never even played Gran Turismos, but I
Didn't
knew
Gran
when they were coming
Turismo
out.
3 sell like 1 billion copies?
8 billion, yeah. If you look it up at Wikipedia, it's a billion.
Yep.
It's crazy. I mean, 4 sold 1 billion, 5 sold 1 billion, 6 dipped.
Maybe because it's not numbered, people aren't as interested.
Yeah, I mean, 6 took a big hit, but that came out so close.
Prologue do a lot too.
Yeah, dude.
Crazy.
Yeah, it is
It's
crazy.
different competition now though. Forza and stuff like
Well,
that.
I mean, you had that like gap where you had no Gran Turismo, so you
Yeah.
like, of course, you had to go out and find other things, and I
Yeah.
think that lapse really hurts.
Yeah. Cool month, October. Switch was number 1 among hardware sales.
Number 2, SNES Mini.
Oh my goodness, I think you're right.
Isn't
Brad.
it like Wired Magazine's device of the year or somebody? The Switch?
Who cares?
Somebody.
I think it was Time. I think Time
okay.
actually did that. Yeah.
I feel like with the PS4, the Xbox One, when I first got them, and people would ask, "Hey, should I get this? Should I get this new system?" I'd be like, "It's cool, but if you're not hyper into video games, maybe wait a little bit."
Yeah.
Whereas like at this point with the Switch, I'm like, "No, like jump in."
No matter what.
There's a lot of good stuff that you don't
I'm
want
just
to
like,
miss.
It's Mario and Zelda.
Yeah.
You're
No,
set.
but it's not just that. If it was just Mario,
I know,
and
but
Zelda,
I'm just saying, like
there's so many.
Can you
crazy
just
things
say
coming to
that
this
usually in 1 year?
right?
No.
Brand new Mario and brand new Zelda? No, you can't.
You can't say that.
You got Mario and Rabbids.
Mario and Rabbids?
Mario and
Yeah,
Rabbids?
it's like
Yeah, Mario Kart 8.
Ben, I don't even need to go that far down the
got
list
Splatoon
yet.
2.
I don't even have to go down that list
No,
yet.
I know, but that's the thing is you don't with the here's the thing. Here's how you sum up the Switch.
Okay.
You don't have to go that far, but it keeps going. That's what makes it,
It just
so
keeps
great.
going, baby.
It just keep going. Spy one.
Sure wish there was that virtual console though.
And I think it's easy to say that like you can just anticipate the Nintendo fanboyism or bias or whatever it is, but I also think you gotta call something out when it's doing well. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta
See if it
call it like you
lasts.
see it.
If this momentum keeps.
Oh, you hear that? Oh, sounds like it's podcast halftime.
The following are the official sponsors of Easy Allies for the month of November.
Dreams do come true.
Elfanis. Hogue Law Business Law Firm. Whether you're starting a business at level 1, stuck fighting the dreaded fundraising boss, or finally cashing out with a well-earned high score, you need a good business lawyer at your side. Rick Hogue started Hogue Law to bring more than a decade of experience to companies like yours and is proud to support the Allies. Check him out at hoeglaw.com. Mango. Jigarbov Productions. Vegetables taste good. iKeyless. Since 2002, iKeyless has specialized in replacement automotive keys and remotes. They can save you up to 75% off of dealerships' prices. Visit their updated website at iKeyless.com and use promo code EZA at checkout for free shipping and an additional 17% off of your order. Scorn, an atmospheric horror adventure currently in development at Ebb Software, set in a nightmarish universe of odd forms and somber tapestry. Go to scorn-game.com for more information. Joe Dent.co, your friendly automotive dent repair expert. If you are currently an EZA patron and are in the Denver metropolitan area, tweet at FastMower if you would like to have your minor door dings repaired free of charge. All of these links are available in the description. Thank you to our sponsors.
Thank you, sponsors.
Thank you.
So this could potentially be a long discussion or a short one.
Short.
All short?
Short.
We're talking microtransactions.
Oh, short.
Yeah, okay. So, since we recorded our podcast last week about the microtransactions kerfuffle involved with Star Wars Battlefront 2, EA straight up said, okay, look, they're gone.
For now.
You cannot spend money on microtransactions in the game. And this was something on me in the reporting on this podcast. I didn't realize that Tuesday was the early access release of Battlefront, and then Friday was the actual release. And so before the actual release of Battlefront, they removed the ability to spend money on microtransactions.
If we want to laugh at the situation, you gotta love, the position Huber was in, where it's like, all right, I finished the script for Battlefront. These microtransactions are an issue, but here you go. And then the next day they're like, we're dropping it by 75%. And he's like, okay, all right, okay.
I sent Huber that link.
Rewrites the couple paragraphs and it's like, okay, there you go, Blood. And he's like, they're gone now. And he's like, all right. Gets the script back and rewrites those paragraphs.
Well, no, tell me how the review changed. Did it affect the score?
I don't believe so. You would have to ask Blood or Huber.
Yeah,
Did it affect the tone?
I know Huber was waving a little bit. I know he fluctuated.
Yeah.
But I don't know specifically where it was and when he moved it for what reasons. But I do know the last couple of paragraphs in there specifically addressed. They're like, okay, it's gone now, but it's still hard to get these heroes. It's still I still did not like the single player campaign. It's still a restrictive game.
Jones, I would actually like, because this is always very fun, for you to read the justification for removing the microtransactions.
And where was this? This wasn't like the official image they sent out. Was this on their website? Or?
Yeah, this is from them. This is from EA. This is from their blog. This was their explanation of why the microtransactions, you can't spend money on them anymore.
Because I enjoyed the 75% drop was just kind of like an image with text on it, and that was fine.
Oh, yeah, that was weird,
the
right?
microtransactions are gone, had like a border and stars in the background.
Yeah.
It was in the Star Wars font. That was my,
They're gone.
Get the marketing team to put a really fancy looking apology together.
Honestly, it's so weird that's basically like you can put stuff on a blog, but the way to get it spread is to make a JPEG and post that on Twitter. That's so weird.
Yeah. Because I saw people that didn't retweet it and quote on top, they just grabbed the image and made their own tweet with the image.
I mean, it's a good way to make it spread.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Jones.
Thank you to everyone in our community for being the passionate fans that you are.
Start with as. Start with as. There's a lot of language there that I don't have the patience for. Like when you just said thank you to everyone, nobody wants to see that right there. Do you know what I mean?
Thank you.
Thank you to everyone for saying
So generous.
Yeah, exactly. It's all right. Okay.
As we approach the worldwide launch, it's clear that many of you feel there are still challenges in the design. We've heard the concerns about potentially giving players unfair advantages, and we've heard that this is overshadowing an otherwise great game. This was never our intention. Sorry, we didn't get this right.
Ooh,
look at that.
Hey.
We hear you loud and clear, so we're turning off all in-game purchases. We will now spend more time listening, adjusting, balancing, and tuning. This means that the option to purchase crystals in the game is now offline, and all progression will be earned through gameplay. The ability to purchase crystals in-game will become available at a later date, only after we've made changes to the game. We'll share more details as we work through this.
In the same paragraph. All right.
We have created a game that is built on your input, and it will continue to evolve and grow. Star Wars Battlefront 2 is 3 times the size of the previous game, bringing to life a brand new Star Wars story, space battles, epic new multiplayer experiences across all 3 Star Wars eras, and more free content to come. We want you to enjoy it, so please keep your thoughts coming, and we will keep you updated on our progress.
Jonas, do you think that team loves Star Wars? Do you get the impression from that?
From the language?
Yeah.
It's a little... I don't know who wrote
Can I
this.
see
So I
that
don't, did
real
the
quick?
team write this? I don't know.
Can I see the last
I
paragraph?
do believe there are a lot of people that worked on that.
Oh, but like
game
what you said
that-
before is you don't feel like they're communicating how much they love Star Wars. That's what you said last week. That's what you want to see out of EA. It's what you want to see out of DICE. Is that they're privileged to work on Star Wars. Do you get that vibe from
I
this?
will completely overlook that because
Yeah.
that used the word sorry.
Oh, okay.
And that to me was better than a lot of the messaging that EA has done so far.
We have created a game that is built on your input.
Yeah.
I highly doubt
Well, yeah,
that.
no, there's another one. No. The other,
Highly doubt that.
even with them saying sorry, they still got to dig. They're like, we've heard concerns about potentially giving players unfair advantages. It's like, oh, come on.
It's like, you guys knew this.
I mean, there's rumors that there's some nefarious things going on there, but
Yeah.
but they said they're sorry, and this was a very clear. Something happened. This is a very clear.
Yeah.
All right. Mm-hmm. Let's get out ahead of this, if we can.
So do we just brush it off? Is that done?
No.
We're clean.
No.
We're good. DICE,
We
you
don't know.
solved it.
We don't know
They
what
don't
they're
have
gonna
like
do
a clear plan.
when they come back.
Can you imagine removing the microtransactions, being a good guy, and then bringing them back somehow?
Yes, that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna come back. They
They
said
will.
it.
Yes, they will. But how can you be a good guy when you do that? How can you possibly do that
They'll
the
be
right
like,
way?
Right.
everyone gets 3 free loot boxes.
Well, but I mean, that's the other thing too. Is that's one thing that not a lot of people talk about with microtransactions.
Yeah.
It's like you got to give me free stuff sometime.
Yeah.
Like in my favorite microtransaction games, I don't know if Hearthstone ever did this, where you just signed into Hearthstone and they were like, "Hey,
You do.
here's
That happens.
some
Yeah,
stuff."
I think you do.
It
Yeah.
absolutely does.
Especially one of my favorite things in
That's
the
it.
world is when I signed into Galaxy of Heroes and they're like, "Hey, the servers went down yesterday. We're so sorry. Here's a bunch of crystals."
you
And,
didn't
I'm like,
even
"I didn't
notice.
even play yesterday.
Yeah.
Great, like, thanks."
But I mean, yeah, Brad's totally right. Draft your tweets now. When they do come in, you're getting some free stuff.
Everybody
on that
gets
day.
free points.
I would not be surprised if this comes with Finn and Phasma. Those are the next characters
yeah.
in a couple like
Probably,
a map or two. It'll probably come with an update. So they're
Episode
like,
8 costume.
we're asking for money, but we're giving you this stuff for free. Also with the update, there's not 2 updates you got to download. It's just kind of one big thing. And yeah, the mistake is not to say anything. I mean, they say it in there specifically, we will keep you in the loop, but that would be nasty if they were just like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, we didn't mention the purchases are back.
Yeah. Ben, isn't this crazy? We've never seen anything like this, I think.
This is an embarrassing panic button, is what this is.
It's the right panic button to hit, though, right? They should have canceled all sales sales of crystals.
Yeah, but what this reads like to me is, oh man, we are taking an unbelievable amount of heat, so much heat that we have to do something. All right, pull the plug it back in once this quiets down. Like, to me, that is not the right move. The right move is to just leave that thing unplugged. Like, if you really want to be impressive, you say, we messed up and we're done. Like, we're not doing that. We're completely changing this game forever. Because it just, how do I believe the sincerity when you include in your sorry, we'll put this back in later? Like, no, that's like when you take the whole scope of Battlefront 2. Like, I've seen people say publicly, like, hey, you know, they took it out. I've gotten all the heroes in the game. I'm having a good time, but it's not just that. It's if you go and you look at their whole campaign for Battlefront 2, all of it is them trying to use good faith. We listened. We get it, you guys. We're on your side. Can you believe how much more stuff there is in this game? In the first one,
It's 3 times bigger.
Can you believe
That's
that
what
we,
I-
it's 3 times
I
bigger?
really
Can you believe that we
hated that statement,
released
too.
that first game? Oh my god! Like, forget that. Here we are. Like, that is what is so upsetting, because if you look at the original state of Battlefront 2, and Hubert said it best in the last Frame Trap, it is the most convoluted and like disgusting progression system in recent memory. And when you build your whole campaign on how great you're being, and then you throw that in there, like, this the stink isn't just gonna wash away. I don't think you can have a conversation. It, like the state Battlefront 2 is in right now. Whatever you say about it, like, oh man, I was playing Battlefront 2 last night. Like somebody's gonna respond, but yeah, can you believe what they did? Like, EA is rightfully suffering for their bullshit.
And I want to talk about that because there is reporting that there was pressure from Disney.
Whoa.
And that this happened a day.
I want to believe that so hard.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people say that's bogus.
Right. We saw Fritz of Wall Street Journal refute that it was the original report was Bob Iger, CEO of Disney's, call in Andrew Wilson and say, fix this now. And that turns out not to be as true. But there certainly was pressure. Or maybe not certainly, but it seems like everybody agrees that Disney was saying, this is bad, please fix this.
We got a movie coming out in a month.
Yes.
Why is everyone angry at Star Wars right now?
Right, they're looking at the notifications on Twitter. They're seeing like, we're trending. And then it's just,
I have to imagine the panic is honestly the flood of articles that you are the most downvoted Reddit post
of all time.
Yeah.
And it's weird to me that has so much power.
Mm-hmm.
That like a company can't stand having that distinction. Like it just makes it squirm.
Not us.
Right. It's weird.
Come on. Yeah.
How are they going to sell Battlefront 3? Like, what is that?
Listen, guys.
What's that? What celebrity's going to tweet at you about this time? Like,
Mark
I wonder.
Hamill's gonna come out.
Ooh, Brad, you
Listen,
nailed it,
we heard-
dude.
No, Harrison Ford comes out.
Yeah.
Listen, we heard that.
They are not. They do not have enough money.
We heard
in
your
their EA
complaints.
vault.
Yeah.
I think almost in like kind of a weird way. I think if Battlefront 3 plays it straight, you can almost see the narrative being written where you have people who come out and they're like, actually, guys, I played Battlefront 2 and I had a good time, and you don't have to worry about any of that stuff anymore. Like, you can just see that story writing itself, where Battlefront 2 messed up so hard and was so despicable that, like, not being despicable is a huge success, which I'm not sure is the bar that we want to place.
No,
in
that's
this
very
industry.
very low.
Yeah.
Very low bar.
Yeah, it's weird. It is Jones. It needs an This is Assassin's Creed Syndicate. It needs Assassin's Creed Origins. It needs to just say like
This isn't even close to Syndicate.
It can't be Battlefront 3. And I know they're probably planning on Battlefront 3 right now.
Oh yeah.
They are hitting the brakes today. You know, they're going into their meeting tomorrow, and they're like, "What can we do?"
But I don't understand how, in the midst of all of this, which Battlefront 2 is enough of of a mess on its own,
Yeah.
that you come out and you say that you're killing the single-player Star Wars game. Like, why? What? How could anybody possibly
Just the
think that
cherry
that
on
was a good
top
idea?
to get people
You're right.
upset. Yeah.
It's fine to tie
And they're
those two
like,
together.
we own Respawn now.
What are you doing?
Hey, it's 3 times the size. Think of the value, Ben.
Ben, think of the single player campaign that they're giving us.
Yes.
We should feel so lucky to get that. Mm-hmm. Free content updates, Ben?
Free. It's all
Come on,
free.
Ben.
Everything's
Come on,
free
Ben.
in
No
here.
more season pass.
How can you complain? We're giving you free DLC.
I do think Wolfenstein 2 is a very incredible game that has a super strong script and does not have any bullshit like this associated with it that people should go play if you feel burned by Battlefront 2.
It's number 14 on the NPDs, so.
Yeah, no multiplayer.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know when I said anything is possible? Yeah. Maybe nothing is possible.
It's number 4. Sorry, number 4. Do we think that Star Wars Battlefront 2 will be high up on the NPDs?
I
for
bet there's
November?
a large number of people that don't even know about this, and they don't care.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, sweet, Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
And I've seen a lot of people, that are like, I'm having a good time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I've seen a lot of
Whatever.
tweets. They're like, I just beat the campaign and I've unlocked every hero and
Yeah.
I've played the game for 20, 30 plus hours and it's great.
But I have to, because in my own personal opinion, what I've played of Battlefront 2, like, I just was not that impressed, both on a single player and multiplayer front. I have to wonder if the response was just so fierce and aggressive and, like, frankly loud that going into Battlefront 2, I think when you have a response that's strong, how could you not walk away and being like, no, it's not that bad? Like, is that what we're seeing? Are those good times just in light of how loud this whole controversy has been? Like, if any of this hadn't happened, would we be seeing that language?
I
don't
think,
know.
Ben, I think there's still an innate joy of holding a Star Wars gun and shooting it. Do you know what I
Yes.
mean? I think there is still like a baseline anyone can enjoy turning into Darth Maul. And so I think that the game can be nasty and dirty and take forever and just stupid but you're still playing a Star Wars game, and there's still something very fun about that.
There is something very fun about that, but I mean, we've had great Star Wars games, like truly great Star Wars games that fulfill the basic requirement of being a Star Wars, but are actually like well designed and interesting and push in like crazy directions. Like, think of Knights of the Old Republic. You could remove all of the Star Wars from that, and I still think that is a pretty good game
Darth
because
Vader
of
isn't
how
in
ambitious
that.
it is.
No, Darth Vader isn't in that.
But it's been so long though since that came out. So long.
Right.
So many people probably don't even know about that game.
But that doesn't mean we should just forget.
I'm
and
not
be
saying
like,
we should just forget it, but this is like all people have now.
Yeah.
This is it.
This
like,
is it.
even-
This is all we will get.
Even the Old Republic, which had its own fair share of people who had differing opinions on that game,
Yeah.
I thought in some ways the way that they were trying to tell the stories of the individual classes and like the attention of detail that they were going, like that was way more interesting. Like when it comes to Battlefront, what I have experienced from it is, yeah, man, it's really fun being in Star Wars. Like that's pretty shallow.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's not shallow.
Yeah.
Shallow sells, baby.
Shallow cells.
Shallow sells. Don't you want to be a stormtrooper?
Don't you want to fly the Millennium
like,
Falcon?
Yeah.
And I think why like kinda yeah. You
Yeah.
know, I think kind of.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not gonna say kind of. I'm like, yeah, I want to fly that. That looks awesome.
Yeah.
I want to fly Slave 1.
I want to talk a little bit more about microtransactions. I know we want that to be short. What's up, Jones?
I just love him, like, you're following, like, you know, Huber's thing, and I'm like, flying in space, and I'm just like, okay, like a hero ship would be really good, because I'm editing the paragraph where he's talking about the hero ship, and like, goes to Slave 1, like, here we go, and like crashes into an asteroid, like, ah!
Classic Huber.
Editing. So yeah, we should make that clear to the audience that you were editing that
Editing
review
the review that Huber wrote.
and looking through Huber's raw footage.
There was some, because there's that tension though, like and especially like I like the system now. To speak favorably of one aspect of Battlefront 2,
you shouldn't do that. Not in a podcast.
Before, when you wanted to be a hero ship or a hero character, you had to find an icon on the battlefield, and that broke my heart so many times playing the first Battlefront, because I'd be like running and be like, I should go, and I would like see him like, oh, lightsaber, I can be Luke Skywalker, and some guy would just jump out of nowhere and grab it. I'm like, oh. And so like the times when I was so scared, and you had to like kneel to like do it. So
Yeah.
like on the battlefield, I gotta like find something to hide behind and like, all right, I'm loading the hero. And so by the time you actually get in that hero, I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing. And they crash.
How's it work now?
Now you save up points, and then
okay.
if you're like, all right, I want to be Chewbacca, unless no one's Chewbacca right now on the field, so you just, boop, you just hit the button. and
So basically you have
load
to
it up.
earn being a hero, which feels a lot more appropriate.
Cool.
Very smart. update.
Rewarded for doing well.
Can I get was the problem before that I could get those points without earning
There were no
them?
points. You had
No,
to
it
find
was
an
just- it was
icon on
just
the
a
battlefield.
grab bag of like, oh, there it is, and then rushing to chase after that.
Oh, sorry.
becoming
I
the-
mean, in Battlefront 2, prior to removing the crystal
You had to
sails.
purchase the heroes, a lot of them, I believe, and they were super
Oh
expensive.
well, yeah. There
Yeah,
were
no,
some heroes that you
I'm
got
talking
out
about
the gate.
I'm talking about activating them while you're in a mission.
Yeah.
Buying the ability to activate them is a whole nother thing.
Okay.
It's all currency. You're not gonna ever go open a box and get a character.
Yeah.
That you're gonna get emotes and skins and stuff like that, and currency. You're also gonna get currency from just finishing missions. You get up enough currency, you buy your heroes.
Okay.
Huber recommends buying Chewbacca first because he's the cheapest, and a lot of people don't
saw a
regularly
lot
play
of
as
people
him. A
using
lot of people
Chewbacca.
saving up for the big ones. So.
Yeah.
I got shot by Chewbacca yesterday. I was like, dude, that was sick.
Hold on,
Let
Brad.
Bowcaster own.
You're playing right now?
Yeah, I played a little game.
I will
little game.
definitely play this game. I have not jumped in yet, but probably over the
I'm
holidays.
not
I'll play
buying
on
loot
lunch.
This
boxes.
is what I'm talking about. Like, it's still fun to play Star Wars,
Yeah.
isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, it's like really.
Well, I have a group of
Sucks
friends
what they
that
did.
This
Yeah.
is appointment gaming for us. Like, there's
Yeah.
they're not going to miss this for the world.
Yeah.
But
They're not
how
going to buy
much
Wolfenstein
time am I
2?
going to spend in?
I'm
How
gonna
much am I
buy
going to kick myself for not
I'm
unlocking
gonna
Rey? I don't
cancel
know.
out a negative with the positive.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my best.
I don't think people should ever feel made to be ashamed for having a good time in a game.
Yeah.
And like, yes, it's fun to just beat Darth Maul, as you said. But at the same time, like, that's the thing, is I feel like we just constantly adopt this all or nothing mentality where it's like, if you're playing and enjoying Battlefront 2, you're a villain, and that's not right either.
Right.
But at the same time, like, I do think it's fair to demand a lot more of Battlefront
Sure.
2.
Yeah.
I think it's hard not playing that and being like, oh man, like, yes, this is fun, I'm having a good time, but think about what it could have been. I think you can have that mentality and still enjoy it.
Yeah, Star Wars was very low stakes for me in the quality camp of what I expected.
Right.
I was just like, I'll play this for a week maybe.
Yeah. I want to transition into microtransactions, though. I want to get in there. Because we got a spicy headline one that Bloodworth messaged to me with the word spicy.
Yeah.
And it is that Belgium, the Gaming Commission of Belgium, has determined that certain microtransactions are indeed gambling. You know, we can maybe, well, no, we shouldn't have Jones read this because this is a translation that I got from PC Gamer. But anyway, what they're saying is that, what's up, Jones?
Who are notably horrible translationists. Like, why?
Well, no, because it's not official. It's not an official statement, so it wouldn't be from their voice necessarily. The person who wrote this had a very funny title: Belgium's Minister of Justice.
Whoa.
Oh, justice!
Yes.
It's like a Vertigo comic line. The Minister of Justice.
Cohen Gaines.
Yep, that's his name before he becomes the minister.
of Justice. Basically, mixing gambling and gaming, especially at a young age, is dangerous for the mental health of a child. They're going to try to ban in-game purchases for children, or at least try to prevent. Sorry, they're trying to either ban them altogether or just prevent children from playing them. Trying to get Europe to do that. Obviously, no actions taken. So, panel, I'm going to come to you straight out from this pragmatic sense of I don't think this will spread. I think that it's really interesting. Bloodworth showed us another article that Hawaii, the local government, well, the state government of Hawaii is investigating. Is going to look in and see, is this really gambling? Should this be considered gambling? And then should we prevent children from doing it? Should games altogether stop doing this? So I guess I want the panel to chime in on that. Maybe I'm being too pragmatic there. Maybe like there could eventually be someone who says, no, this is illegal. This is gambling. And so I want to know where you all stand. Are microtransactions at a random gambling, Brad?
Technically, I would say yes, because you don't know what you're getting.
Right.
It's a gamble,
and you can spend money on it.
You can spend money on.
Yeah, you can throw your credit card at that.
The thing about stopping kids from doing that is, like, if you're a parent, educate yourself. Take a second to look this up if it's a concern of yours. See what your kid's doing. Don't give them your credit card. Do something. Be a parent.
Ouch. Brad.
What?
You're saying that parents who let their kids use credit cards aren't being a good parent?
I'm not saying that all the time. Just have an idea of what they're doing with it. If you're concerned about it, investigate it. Don't just expect... don't, like, they're blaming other people for their own faults if they're not investigating it. Like, I know there's probably examples where kids steal their credit cards or something like that without the parents' knowledge, maybe. Yeah. Like, that sucks. But, I mean... educate yourself the most you can if it's a concern of yours. I think it's up to the parents to an extent to find out. And
it's kind of funny to me, the parent perspective, because I think you did at one point give your child permission to play this game, and then you find out, oh wait, you're not getting anything out of this. You just spent $20 and got nothing.
Yeah.
And so they're looking at microtransactions suddenly and like, oh, these make no sense, which is funny because they don't. It's people coming in. Ben, do you see a future where potentially these sorts of microtransactions, random loot boxes, are deemed illegal?
I think before Battlefront 2, I would have said no. I think if you just sort of looked at the trend, it seemed like we were heading towards this inevitable future where this was just the new normal, where you just sort of had to accept, you had to deal with microtransactions. And I think it's really easy to say and get on your high horse and be like, well, I never used them. Like, whatever, it's not a problem for me. People are making too big of a deal out of it. And it's like, no, it doesn't change the fact that this is predatory. That the whole reason that this exists is to get you to spend as much money as possible after you already spent a lot of money to get the thing in the first place. As you said, like, you take a look at these systems, it's very easy if you spend any amount of time looking at it and going, this is gross, like somebody should do something about this.
Yeah.
And I think if you look at the level of noise that there was with Battlefront 2, because it was really a remarkable level of noise.
Good tweets.
We have not... I don't think we've had a full-price game with microtransactions receive this much flack yet. And when you have that, and then you have people being like, no, we want to like look into this on a legislative level... yeah, maybe it is possible, and I hope it happens.
What it's interesting you use the word predatory, and Jones, we'll take this to you because The thing is, most people, the way it's designed, most people won't buy microtransactions. And when most people say, I don't buy any, that's the design. It is the design. They want the people who can become addicted, the people who can be prey to overspend. And so, I mean, you talk about games with microtransactions that you like. You mentioned that earlier in this podcast. I assume those aren't predatory. And so I wonder what the difference is. I wonder like how to draw that distinction.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Ben, you're the one that used the term predatory. Like,
You're not ready to use that term.
I think the majority of my issues with the microtransactions in Battlefront have to do with how it was communicated, not necessarily like how the system works. Because
You're not mad about how
I
the system
totally think
works?
it's how the system works.
I have not personally played Battlefront 2, so I have not experienced that grind. That is very key. I have to put myself in a position where I'm like, I want that thing, I can't get that thing. What do I have to do to get it? I have not done that yet.
Yeah.
I don't know how much work. I have not played 10 matches in a row and really felt the weight of how long it took to do those matches, especially if I lost most of them. It's like that's kind of demeaning. But yeah, it's tough because I don't really have an answer to that question. I had a whole different answer prepped. Just on
What was the answer you had prepped?
Just the legality. Is this gambling? I think.
And it's tough because it's not legally gambling.
There's a lot of differences between what's going on here and gambling.
Yeah.
Like, if a parent says, like, you didn't get anything, you do get something. Like, the whole point of gambling is that, like, I sat down, I put, $5,000 in the blackjack table, I walked away with nothing. I played one game and lost all of that money. Whereas, like, you might not have wanted that skin, but you did get something. It is a physical object. And you are involved in a linear progression that there is more to it. Like, if you might be, belong to the Pachanga Casino Club, and like you get points or something if you gamble. But like, if you don't and you go into a casino and you gamble and you walk out, like, again, there's no single player campaign for that slot machine. Like, there's I don't have other friends that I'm playing with online. Like, so there are things that it is connected to, that it's not just kind of like you and the box and then you're done.
So it gets hairy with CSGO, where the things that you win actually have value. With money, monetary value.
Auction them off like gambling.
Yeah, there's no way to get money back.
Right. And so with Star Wars, with most microtransactions, with loot boxes, that you can't get money back. You get things with zero value, and that's the whole point. And that's what protects them legally. And so it is going to be a stretch. The laws would have to change, basically, for any of this to be considered legally gambling. But yeah, I just wonder if it is wrong. I wonder if it's something that lawmakers will have to intervene if going forward.
I think it is so easy to say to yourself, well, it's not a problem for me, and it's just video games, so it's not a big deal. I mean, there are certain things that when you talk about them, they just sort of feel like universally bad. Like, if we're talking about hard drugs and addiction, it has nothing but negative connotations. But when we talk about video games, it's this weird mixed pool where we just expect it to be good times, and if it's not a problem for us, we just say, like, oh, it's not a problem. But I remember 2 years ago, I was at a convention, and we went to this Indian restaurant to eat, and somebody was talking about League of Legends, and they were like, yeah, I spent $1,500 on heroes and skins and all of this stuff. And I personally don't have any problem or crusade against League of Legends, but like the way this kid was like way younger than me. He looked like he was a college-age kid. I don't know. I didn't personally talk to him, so I can't verify that. But
how'd he say it? Was he ashamed or happy?
It felt like a confession.
Yeah.
And that's whenever you hear these stories from people who spend way too much money on this stuff. Like, and I can even say this about Hearthstone, where it's like the way that when you fall in love with a game, it is weird that you feel this sort of anxiety of, oh, I love this so much. I've put so much time and effort into it. I'm good at it. Therefore, I have to have everything. Like, that's not healthy behavior. And that is behavior that I think is very easy to succumb to, that people are exploiting, and that's not right. Like, sure, you may not be a whale, but like, I don't think we should encourage that, or like, I think we got to look out for everybody here. I don't know.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I don't know. It's a dicey situation. I'm not saying this is the perfect like comparison, but for example, of alcohol. If some people have a problem with it, should we outlaw it for everybody kind of thing?
But alcohol is also like highly regulated. Like technically,
it is.
When I buy alcohol, like I got to show an ID.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to be like 18 to use these cards or something like that, or
credit cards?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
actually.
sure, right.
To apply
yes.
for one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
You just
I
have
don't
to
know.
speak whatever
I
language.
mean, they could make it
Send a credit
stricter
card.
down the line or something like that. I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, I can also go to 7-Eleven and buy a little PlayStation
Yeah,
card
that's
right
true,
now.
I guess. But it's
The other thing to keep in
get
mind
the
too
card.
is I hear a lot of ads for casinos and for online services for something you're familiar with for fantasy leagues that have betting.
I thought you were about to say gambling addiction.
Yeah.
Because that's what you're about to get to, right? Is that at the end of every
And at
commercial.
the end,
Yeah.
they have their search like, if you have a problem with gambling, call
Yeah.
1-800-GAMBLER. And you're like, okay, cool. And like messaging, they realize we realize this is an issue. We are sensitive to it. We understand that there are some people that have money that can do this, that can live this lifestyle, and that's totally fine. And they those people keep this casino running. What we don't want are people to come in that have a problem, that are away from their families, away from their spouses, and you were at the casino all night. Like we don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
And so again, it's just the messaging.
So I mean, I wonder.
It's not a perfect answer. I'm not. Yeah. I wish.
But nobody's doing that right now. Nobody's trying to protect the people who become helplessly addicted to their games.
That message certainly is not coming from EA.
I haven't seen that from
we
anyone.
could have a problem on our hands. They're
Yes.
like, it's great.
yeah. Well, all those people that spend money on Candy Crush, how much money they've spent on that?
Right.
And seeing it coming out for that.
And so it would, I think, actually be interesting for any publisher to come out and say, like, hey, we're there for you if you.
Yeah, is Blizzard going to come out for when people buy Hearthstone packs, they don't get the cards they want, something like that?
No.
They're like, well, we're looking out for you.
No.
Why don't you buy that pack?
Not yet.
Yeah.
That might be the future. I think that I think that gaming will probably self-regulate. I don't think this will become a law, but I think that this heat on them will force them to
And other
act.
Yeah.
companies to think about that too before
Yeah.
they do it.
I would be amazed if there weren't companies out there right now who saw the response to Battlefront 2 and be like, listen, guys, we got to take all this stuff out of our game.
Yeah.
And that's
Oh, you mean unannounced games right now? Yeah.
unannounced games that you don't know about, games that we're planning to do all of this stuff. Like they absolutely are.
The Anthem
rethinking
team at
them.
BioWare is like,
Oh,
Right.
I'm sure, Jones. I'm positive.
okay.
But in my opinion,
Yeah.
I think there are people out there that are probably sick of hearing about Battlefront, sick about hearing about microtransactions. But I honestly, this is how the system should be working. Like, people are making an outcry and real changes happening. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
sure, it may not be done in exactly the way that you want it, but I think that that's pretty awesome.
It is.
Yeah.
It is absolutely awesome. Speaking of awesome, it's time for love and respect.
Love and respect.
I feel like the last 3 times I was on here, we talked about loot boxes.
I just had a horrible thought too.
What's wrong?
Because I always think of the worst case scenario, like the
Bring
most
it on.
evil person
Bring
ever.
it on. What's up?
What if like a game comes out and they're like, so we're announcing our game. Here's our game. Oh, just a heads up, we did have microtransactions in this game, but we thought that was a bad idea, so we took them out.
Yeah.
And we're like, did you really? And like, we didn't understand. We made that up. It's fine. You're like, oh, come on. Like,
No.
I wonder if there's gonna be this whole like. If you're an indie developer, like releasing an indie shooter, like I would be like, no microtransactions.
Yeah,
no.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was like a recurring theme at E3, where you're like,
Yeah.
we thought about microtransactions, but no,
Oh,
don't
you
worry.
know the Borderlands
We're for the-
3 trailer is
we're
gonna
for the
talk.
gamers.
Look at that.
Yeah,
They're
I
gonna be
would-
like
yeah.
like one character's gonna open up microtransaction. They're like blow it up with a grenade. Like no microtransactions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Count on it.
Can't wait.
Absolutely.
They're
Yeah.
big font. No microtransactions.
Jones, I don't think anyone will lie about it, but I think those who did will brag about it.
It's like
I think
when
that-
people were
ahead.
saying no DRM or something like that when that was
Yes.
going on. A lot of that.
Yeah.
DRM free.
Let's do this one.
Okay.
Was The Last Guardian snubbed at the Game Awards? Hi, panel. As you know, the nominees are up for the Game Awards, and The Last Guardian is not nominated for a single category. Personally, I think it should have been nominated at least for Game of the Year, Best Game Direction, Best Art Direction, or Best Action Adventure Game. I know this was an especially good year. However, most of the categories I mentioned have at least one nominee that I feel is weaker than The Last Guardian. Is The Last Guardian simply not good enough to stand with these amazing games? Or is it a casualty of its own release date? The Last Guardian came out last year but missed the cutoff for the 2016 Game Awards. Did people just forget how good it was? And does any game that falls into the December release window have a hard road to make it a GOTY talks? Final Fantasy 15 made it to Best RPG category. However, it had consistent stream DLC to keep it in public mind. Thank you for reading. Love the podcast. Love and respect, Drake Cummings. So I don't think this discussion has to be about the Game Awards in particular. But yeah, I'm curious about that. Last Guardian disappeared. Isn't being talked about right now. And so I kind of want to talk about its legacy, not just in Game of the Year awards, though that part is interesting, but how the world feels about that game in particular a year later.
Seems like a polarizing game from what I've heard from people. I heard
Yeah.
people that love it, people that hate it. Like
Yeah.
even in our group, it's there.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of people that legitimately don't like that game and have articulated why they don't like it. But I also have to wonder if there is a little bit of dogpiling where people who saw other people's opinions about it and then dogpiled on without actually having played it. Like I got an email for Frame Trap the other day where they're like, "Hey, here's my opinion on these games, but I haven't actually played them. I just watched them on YouTube." Like, I think that
Whoa.
honestly happens all the time. And I think
By the way, I think that's okay. I want to say I think that's okay.
I think it is okay on a personal level. I think if you're like, hey, because I do think watching an entire game on YouTube, like, that takes a fair bit of commitment, and you really are seeing the game. It's not that you can't form an opinion on it, but it gets weird to me when these people who don't actually, like, who just watch it on YouTube, they make that opinion broader than just themselves. Where, like, no, it is absolutely bad, and I'm going to condemn everyone who doesn't think that way, and then they didn't play the game. Like, I think there's a limit. I don't know. I think using YouTube as a resource to make your own purchasing and time playing decisions is fine, but I don't know.
To say a game is bad.
Right.
Jones, so let's say here's what I'm going to pose to you. I think if Last Guardian came out October 2016, it would have been nominated for more categories. I think it came out October of this year. I think we may have seen the exact same snub. Do you feel the same way?
I don't know. I did not play The Last Guardian.
I think it wouldn't have seen as much snub.
What's up?
I think it would have done better.
I think it would have slid into at
2000
least
in last year?
one award.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
or two. I think would have popped up somewhere.
But do you think it stands up to the games that were released this year?
Some ways,
What
yeah. I think so.
I think it depends on categories as well. Like, where are you placing Last Guardian? What came out this year? I mean, there are only so many spots as well.
Yeah.
And this is
Gotta
an
make
incredible
cuts,
year.
yeah.
I like, on one hand, I don't want to, I think it is interesting to try to figure out the mentality and analyze, how cultural perspectives have shifted. But at the same time, like, you can do this with so many things. Like, you could look at any awards list and be like, well, why wasn't this here? Why didn't they talk about this way? Why didn't this win? And so any award is innately flawed depending on your perspective.
Yup.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Ben? Yes. It's just, and one last thing about The Last Guardian I want to talk about is its legacy. I think that it's strange to me that it hasn't been remembered well, and I don't think it will be. I think it will be remembered as a disappointment.
I don't agree.
I think at the end of this console life cycle, people will prefer the remake of Shadow of the Colossus.
They're so different, though.
The way these things have tails, though, man.
Yeah? Do you
Like,
think eventually it'll pick up as more people give it a chance?
Well, there are just so many things that if you look at the online conversation at the time and then where we are now, I think Mario Sunshine is an excellent example for that. Like,
Yes.
I remember either just total apathy or like no, this is definitely not the follow-up to Mario 64 that we wanted.
The
and
only
now,
good parts are the challenge rooms.
and now you just hear this like gushing language, which I think is rightfully earned for Sunshine. You see that with,
Maybe too gushing, because Sunshine's not that great.
I really like Sunshine.
Me
but
too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Anyway,
Yeah.
You see that with like even the Wind Waker. I think is an amazing example where like the way people talk about the Wind Waker now, it's like there never was a controversy at all.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
like, best
And
3D
so
Zelda game.
I think it is like, maybe you're right, Kyle. Maybe at the end of this console generation, people are going to be like, rah, rah, Last Guardian. But it's weird how these things spring up. Like, in 10 years, is there going to be this super vocal group of people that catch on and, like, convince a bunch of other people that The Last Guardian is actually super great?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think Ueda has a very, specific fan base
Yeah.
that has a strong following for his games.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that maybe the window of the people who are talking about the game spread too larger than that. Mm-hmm. And the Ueda fan base does love that game.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, Brad.
It's also hard because I think The Last Guardian is a great game right now.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. But I mean, we're small voices in a huge
That's okay.
Yeah,
It's okay.
ocean of voices.
Yeah.
Jones, how do you think it's gonna be remembered next year? This year, next time. Next year, where do you think it's gonna stand?
I think it'll probably be about the same place it is now.
Okay.
Because I think when you have another Zelda game, especially something that comes along later and has a really distinct style, if they had in some way tried to improve upon Wind Waker, if there was a game that was like almost universally agreed among Zelda fans, like this was better than Wind Waker. It was like they brought boats back, they did the same design, and they just improved upon that concept.
Galaxy 2.
But every Zelda is really interesting and unique and is its own experience, and so that brings up comparisons, and that's the type of franchise where it's common to get re-releases. You get Ocarina of Time again on 3DS. You get these other opportunities to play these games, Virtual Console and stuff. So there's so many opportunities to not only play games but then bring up that conversation. What's your favorite Zelda? I like this. I didn't get a chance to play that other game. Where I think one of the things that suffered, and I hate to say this with Game of the Year, but I think word of mouth is a huge deal. Mm-hmm. I think games that come out in January are definitely fighting an uphill battle against games that come out in September and October, and November when it comes up to GOTYs. And I think by the time from that moment that we found out The Last Guardian was coming back, when we were like, look at that, it's happening. Wow, there's a whole new trailer and like new scenes. There was nothing else to talk about. After that moment, we were just kind of like, cool, it's happening. And then every other trailer was like, right, kid.
A second Trico. Okay.
Stuff.
All
evil
right.
Trico with eyes. Great. Just wasn't a lot of like,
eyes.
whoa, did you look at the English translation of the 4 characters in Final Fantasy 15. Wow, look at the expansions that they're talking about. Oh my God, look at Titan. It's like there were so many new things that kept coming out that I think now that's just there's just more buzz, and it sucks. It sucks for GOTYs. But it's...
Nah, Jones, I think that's totally fair. I think you touched on something, is that the game doesn't have much to talk about. We say the game's great. You build a bond with that Trico. It is just complete.
You love that thing or you don't?
Yeah. Yeah.
You feel a connection. Because that's the thing. It's like a lot of people that critique that game, they're like, yeah, I was frustrated because I didn't feel like I had a connection to that thing. And like you're talking to somebody that like, I loved that thing. And it's like, well, I can't say you're wrong, and you can't say I'm wrong. And so it's a very interesting game to debate.
Love that. Let's do another Game Awards question.
Okay.
Hey, allies, the awards season is on the horizon. And since, read that wrong, and since this year is looking like one of the best in gaming, I thought it'd be a good time to reflect on the last 10 years and how 2017 actually stacks up. It's time to play which Game of the Year game won Game of the Year more than any other game that year game.
What?
For each year, I'll provide a list of games, all GOTY winners, and you will have to guess which won the most GOTYs that year according to the GOTY Wikipedia page.
Awesome.
Not counting People's Choice and such. I have included the last 10 years. Play as many as you'd like. Love and respect. Ilko Osnabrügge. Feel free to correct me on that pronunciation. Okay, so we'll start easy. We'll start with 2016. I have 4 games for you. Inside, The Last Guardian, Overwatch, and Uncharted 4, Thief's End.
Overwatch
So
won the most.
Which one?
game won more Game of the Year awards from multiple places?
Yeah.
Overwatch.
Overwatch.
Oh, I'd go Uncharted, but it might be Overwatch.
It's Overwatch.
There you go.
11. Uncharted 4 got 6. Last Guardian got 2, including ours. Inside 1. 2015. Bloodborne. Fallout 4. Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. And The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt.
That's
Witcher
tough.
3.
I'm going to say Witcher 3.
I'm going to say Fallout 4.
Ew, Brad.
I mean,
Witcher
I think
3.
it's gross.
The Witcher 3.
I think it's gross too.
Yeah, I know, but you're like, you know what? Just like journalists.
It wouldn't be.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be my pick.
Yeah. Witcher 3 had 12, Bloodborne 4,
like
Fallout
Fallout
4, 2, and then Metal Gear Solid 5 had 2. Yeah.
We are on the bottom. we are not in the popular crew when it comes to GOTYs.
Oh, Bloodborne, yeah, it's crazy that
Certainly in the
Game
year
Trailers
you're
was
about
one
to
of
talk
those-
about, we're
Yeah.
probably one,
I mean,
maybe.
But the debate between what was going to win
That year.
Witcher 3 and Bloodborne, like, it was down to the wire.
It was like one
wasn't-
vote or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. That was
We were
heated debate.
Swinging.
The VV doll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait for your
We
turn.
should explain that.
That was
yes.
so brutal. We had to come up with rules for like how we were going to
And
handle
that was our conch shell. If you had the VV doll,
That was Bloodworth's idea, right? It
yeah, you were allowed to talk, and then no one else could talk while you were holding the VV doll.
was like a Mary Poppins game or something.
Yes.
I think that was in response to the previous year's chaos.
Let's go
Yeah.
in. Let's get into that previous year's chaos, in which we have Destiny, Dragon Age Inquisition, Hearthstone, and Middle Earth: Shadow of Mordor.
I'm going to say Shadow
Shadow of Mordor, yeah.
Brad, you got a guess?
Sorry,
Age would be my second guess, but definitely.
I'm gonna
Shadow
say
of
Dragon Age.
Mordor.
It is Dragon Age.
Yeah.
10. 10 for Dragon Age Inquisition.
How did that happen?
Uh,
And I don't. I think it's a good game.
If we talk about
in a
timing,
way.
if we talk about timing, that game had great timing. I think most of the people who voted it for GOTY, I think most of their staff did not finish that. I think there's no way.
Was it like a November game?
It was a
or
November
something?
game, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that it just had a
Riding
really
that
good
high,
first
baby.
impression.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of people.
Do you think it was like, hey, Dragon Age is really great, and people just believed it?
Yeah,
Or,
and
Yeah.
like you put in that first hour, and
Dragon
you're like,
Age is
okay,
back.
yeah, this is cool. This is next gen Dragon Age. The people who were shouting about Donkey Kong were unheard.
Well, I remember being I was at DICE that year at the in Vegas, the awards, and I remember Dragon Age didn't win anything except Game of the Year.
Yeah.
It didn't win RPG.
Yeah.
Something else beat it out for best RPG.
Yeah.
And then it won GOTY.
I think it was the year
All
it's like Dragon Age. Dragon Age, yeah, it's fine. Shadow of Mordor did have 5. Destiny had 2. Hearthstone 1.
Oh yeah, baby.
GameTrailers.com.
Oh yeah.
I'm not unproud of that, by the way.
I'm not.
I will.
Yeah,
that's
I
the
will.
way it goes,
I will
man.
hold to that the day I die.
It was democracy. We voted.
The fact that
Yeah.
people were upset that it was a card game and how could a card game win? I hate that. I hate that argument, man.
Yeah.
It's tough to have genre bias with GOTYs. Be like, that genre can never win. Like, ooh, that sucks.
Yeah.
All right.
2013.
Only big RPGs. Sorry.
2013.
BioShock Infinite. Grand Theft Auto 5. The Last of Us. The Legend of Zelda. A Link Between Worlds. What a year, by the way.
I'm crossing my fingers hard for GTA 5.
I believe
I
it was.
fear
I'm gonna
it's The
say
Last of Us, but
you
I'm going with Last
fear.
of Us.
Yeah.
Come on. Last of Us is
Last of
amazing.
Us.
I'm going with Last of Us as
Yeah.
well.
It is The Last of Us. Sorry, Jones. 16.
Wow.
Reliving that nightmare.
You got to do Last of Us. Yeah. Oh, poor Jones.
Boy, I think The Last of Us deserves it too.
That meeting could have used a VV doll, I'm sure.
Yeah.
GTA 5 had 7. BioShock Infinite 3. Link Between Worlds 1. What a classy pick, by the way. But
game.
I do
It's
think you're
funny-
being a little cute.
Because if you were to ask in 2012, I would have picked BioShock Infinite.
Oh,
It's
sure.
funny. Like
Ooh.
preconception, post. Yeah.
Let's talk about 2012. In that year, we had Journey, Mass Effect 3, The Walking Dead, and XCOM, Enemy Unknown.
Just say XCOM. Or,
XCOM, yeah.
XCOM or Walking Dead.
You got a pick, Brad?
Can you say it one more time? Journey.
Mass Effect 3, Walking Dead, XCOM, Enemy Unknown.
I'm gonna say Walking Dead.
Journey.
Whoa!
Journey won 7, Walking Dead 4, XCOM 4, Mass Effect 3
Crazy.
2.
Go Journey.
Yeah.
Go XCOM. Go
Yeah,
Journey.
You're right. Cool.
It's a 2-hour game. 2-hour games can't win GOTY.
Oh, don't.
Again, you know
Don't
what
you
I'm
do that. 2011. Ooh, this is a really interesting year. Minecraft.
Oh.
Portal 2. The Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim. And Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception.
Skyrim.
Skyrim, yeah.
Skyrim, 15.
Yes.
Skip
Skyrim,
15 for Skyrim,
yeah.
8 for Portal 2, 2 for Minecraft, 1 for Uncharted 3. Who did that? GameTrailers.com.
Really?
Yeah.
We are the lowest common denominator every
Nice.
single time.
That's really funny. All right, 2010. In that year, we saw Alan Wake, Mass Effect 2, Red Dead Redemption, and Super Mario Galaxy 2.
I love Mass Effect 2.
Mass Effect 2.
And I think it should be Red Dead Redemption, but it's Mass Effect 2.
Yeah, I'm going with Mass Effect 2.
Yeah.
It was Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, I've never been so happy to be wrong in my life.
Yeah, that's awesome.
15 for Red Dead Redemption.
Nice.
9 for Mass Effect 2, so it did very well. Mario Galaxy 2 had 4. Alan Wake 1. Not GameTrailers.com.
No, not GameTrailers.
What do we Mass
Despite
Effect
my
that year?
Cuber.
Sorry?
Were we Mass Effect that year?
Oh, good question. This doesn't say where GT
I think
was.
you guys
at.
were.
I would fight for Alan Wake in most cases, but I don't think it's Game of the Year on that list.
Oh, yeah. Galaxy 2, Red Dead, come on. Yeah, Mass Effect 2 even. That's a good year. 2009.
I think it might have been Galaxy 2, actually, but I don't know. Well, corrections next week.
I think it was. I think GT gave it to Galaxy 2 that year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good on us.
Yeah. It's a good pick. It's a good pick. You can defend it. If you can defend it, otherwise it's like you're
Were you
being
there?
cute.
No, I wasn't there. This is before me.
2009. Assassin's Creed 2. Batman, Arkham Asylum. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Oh.
Uncharted 2 Among Thieves.
I'm
There
going to
you go.
say
There you
Uncharted
go.
2.
Yeah.
say
Oh, yeah.
Uncharted
Oh,
2.
yeah.
14 for Uncharted 2. Wow. Arkham Asylum had 5. Modern Warfare 2 had 4. Assassin's Creed 2
Arkham.
had 2. Yeah. Yeah, showing up at GOTYs. That's cool. 2008. I love going back this deep. Fallout 3. Grand Theft Auto 4. Little Big Planet. Or Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots. Not easy, right?
I think it's between Grand Theft Auto and Fallout 3.
GTA 4.
I'm gonna say Fallout 3.
What do you got, Brad?
I'm gonna say Fallout 3.
GTA 4, 8.
Okay.
Fallout 3, 7. It was really close. Really close. Little Big Planet 4, Metal Gear Solid 4, 2. By the way, huge drop off in number of publications there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's like the internet's growing and more people are doing GOTYs and more. Okay, here we go. 2007. That's the year of BioShock.
Yeah, 2007
there-
was
we
a
agree.
big,
That's
big,
the winner.
big year. Rock Band.
Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare.
Oh man.
Portal.
Portal.
The orange box came out that year.
5
And-
games, 1 box.
Super Mario Galaxy.
I think
Galaxy.
BioShock won the most.
Ooh, I'd say Galaxy.
Brad, you got a guess?
BioShock.
It's very interesting. BioShock had 9, Galaxy had 7, Portal had 6, Call of Duty had 3.
So it was BioShock. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was BioShock. That's it. That's the end of the game.
Very fun
Crazy.
game.
That was a
that's
good game.
I would let's keep going.
2000? Yeah. That was fun. Yeah, that's a good game. All right, it is now time for bets. Last week's bet, Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, came out on Friday, November 17th. Which one will be higher on Amazon.com's bestsellers list? And to break the tie, where will it be? Jones, you said Sun at number 5. Ian said Moon at number 8. Damiani said Sun at number 1. I said Moon at number 4. We did do that last year. Sun was first last year. Sun was first this year.
Oh.
Ultra Sun was at number 10. Ultra Moon was at number 14. That means, just to rub this in, Jones, you got another win. That is Purple Platypi 19, Red Eagles. Oh, sorry. Purple Platypi 19. Red Eagles 28.
Our platypi is just sad.
So yeah, there's no point in the bets anymore for the rest of 2017. Jones, we won.
You won this war.
To listeners, Jones gave me a wink after that. Ding. Let's stop that. So I'm introducing a new segment in place of Time for Bets. It's called Bonus Opinion Jam. Now, I just want quick, hot opinions from the panel. The best opinion will get to sign off for the show.
What?
Yeah.
A quick hot opinion.
I want your quick, hot opinions. So no, I'm going to prompt you. Final Fantasy 15 added a multiplayer mode called Comrades. Will Comrades last? Brad.
It'll do decent. I don't know why I'm not seeing it on Final Fantasy 16 instead, though.
Ben, will Comrades last?
What is the time frame for last? Like last
Just
a
hot
month?
take. Just hot take.
I need a hot take, man.
No, it won't, because there's too much competition. It's a game that I think it won't receive the support that it needs to really compete in the long term.
Jones, will Comrades last?
No. The hardcore fans are playing it. They will play that no matter what. But I think Ben put it very well. And I will second that statement that there's just too much damn good stuff out there to check out to play a game from 2016, even with a cool new mode.
I'm going to give best bonus opinion to Brad because he said I need.
We're 16.
Yeah, we're 16.
Why are you doing this?
Why
are you still working on this game?
Why are you doing this? Where's 16? Do you have a plan? You got a plan? Where's Kingdom Hearts?
Oh, they got a
Where
plan.
is it, Square Enix?
They got a plan. 15-2, baby.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
All right, yeah, that's fun. Bonus opinions. So let me talk about patreon.com/easyeyes real quickly, because that is a website. That is a URL. Well, that's a URL you can go to find out more about Easy Allies and how you can support us and how we can do things for you in return. How we exist. We exist because of patreon.com/easyallies. Just in terms of this podcast, if you are a $5 patron, meaning giving us $5 a month, you can get this podcast 3 days early. You get it on Wednesday instead of Friday, and you can submit to Love and Respect. Those all come from our patrons of the $5 and up tier. Brad, how'd you do on your goal of being a good boy?
I think I was a good boy.
You were a good boy.
Excellent.
It's confirmed. Ben, how did you do on your goal of never thinking about, what was the thing?
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing.
Better than I thought.
Yeah.
Still thought about it.
We talked about microtransactions.
For a great deal,
Yeah, I think at the beginning, like before we got into the topics, I was thinking about it a lot.
Oh, okay.
But then once we got into Valkyria and the microtransaction stuff, I wasn't thinking about it.
Great. Wow. Jones, how did you do on your goal? Run your goal?
To get a little James Hetfield in there.
Yeah, how'd you do on that goal?
I did it. Did it in podcast.
Yeah.
If Ben approved,
It was not even a
Mission
little.
accomplished.
It was not even a little.
You committed to
You
it.
committed to it.
Yeah.
Speaking of commitment, I finally got to debut my impression of Saul Goodman. Rave reviews. I'm checking out the comments now.
Knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, they're very, very into
Insane.
it. Yeah, I'm known for my
I
impressions.
thought the show was on in the background.
yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. I worked really hard on this. I studied. I watched the way his lips move.
Kyle, I'm gonna say this.
You
got a
captured the
gift.
tragedy of
Yeah.
that character.
You have a
Wow.
gift, Kyle.
Thanks.
Don't let this go to waste.
Do you think this might become bigger than my Trump?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Whoa. Okay.
Like every impression you do,
Yeah.
just exceeds the previous one by a mile.
Cool. All right.
Some people say impressions, they're just funny stuff.
Yeah.
You make it an art.
Thanks. Thank you, panel.
Like if Telltale makes a Better Call Saul game, you better be Saul.
Oh, yeah.
You need to be Saul.
Okay.
You got
Kyle.
this.
Brad,
Yes.
because you had the best bonus opinion, you get to sign off with your trademark sign off. You get to promote any Easy Allies video you would like to promote. You get to share your Twitter handle with the world, and you get the final word on anything you want to reiterate, anything you've disagreed with, or anything that just pops into your head right now.
My Twitter is. Oh yeah. Okay.
No. He's good boy. This is good boy, Brad.
No.
Don't you do that.
podcast over.
I
Bill.
had a thing. Yeah. My Twitter is at BradleyLC7. Video I want to promote is Tabletop Escapades. We're getting near the end. It's getting real spooky. I'm scared every episode. I don't know what's coming.
Yeah.
What was the other stuff? Oh, opinion. I'm just gonna say it feels good that Valkyria Chronicles 4 is announced. That was a feel-good moment, and I'm real happy. I didn't think that would happen again. I thought it was over.
I like being on a podcast with you.
But it just came. It happened. We willed into existence, the fans. So no longer good boy. Naughty boy mode. Strong language incoming. Could be kind of loud also. So be warned. In honor of my boy, General Hux, who has pretty high diplomacy on this and intelligence. And better fighting ability than I expected.
For listeners, Brad is holding a trading card of General Hux himself right now.
That Brandon brought me. Thank
Yep.
you, Brandon. This is not a 100% accurate quote, but it is what I thought of in my head immediately when he said this because it's so great. I will do the best I can. Fuck the Republic and fuck the Senate! Fire!
I am enjoying these microtransactions.